What do you think is the biggest contributor to kids burning out? Sure.
Necessarily say it's like the competition part. I would say it's like the style of the in it, but every kid's different because like I feel
Sure.
like if you have a coach that's like down your throat, beating you up every day, I've heard of them. Like I've heard them all over.
Yeah.
Like if that's like the coach, you're gonna burn a kid out. Or if you're a dad that's like pushing and prodding too much, like after a practice, like, hey, how'd it go? And then you're just like constantly asking, constantly dwelling on like you should have done this and this better. It's like it's exhausting. Like instead, like be very go with the flow. Like if you win, great. If you don't, that's okay. We love you either way, but you should be committed and like you need to be, dedicated. I think
Yeah.
knowing if the kid likes it, no, because for me growing up, like I wanted to hit 100 matches a year, which is a lot. Like as a
Mhm.
youth kid, like
It
100
is.
matches a year,
Mhm.
that's a lot.
It's a
You're
lot.
wrestling. But how I would do that, and I would love if my dad would do this, was he would double bracket me at practice or at tournaments.
Mhm.
So like at tournaments, I would go like, say it's a preseason nationals, we double bracket, if they'd allow it.
Mhm.
Like, and I would get 10 matches in and I would take 2 trophies home and I would take 2 outstanding, whatever it was, like I love doing that. But some kids aren't like that and they're just not wired like
Yeah.
that and they could get burnt out and you got to be real careful with it.
It's I don't know if it's the competition. I think it's kids that are cutting weight and competing
Yeah,
at a
I see a
high
lot of kids
level.
come away. And you know what I see too is like people blame the burnout on the fear of losing. Like they
Yeah.
go, I don't want to do this anymore. Like I don't want to wrestle. I don't want to go to Tulsa. I don't want to go to this. And I get to the root of it. And part of it is like the failing part. Like I'm not
Yeah.
getting what I want in the sport. Like I don't get my hand raised. I feel like crap. Like, and
Mm.
after I lose, which I do too. And that's part of like the
Yeah.
process you have to work through. Cause like 2 years ago when I was done with college, I'm like the heartbreak I went through and the freaking turmoil I freaking put on my brain. I didn't want to go through that again. But I'm missing the point of like what wrestling does for me for one, and two, like it is just a sport. Like losing it shouldn't be so detrimental on my mind that it like absolutely derails me.